Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Kiran Bendigeri from Grafosyss IAS. In this video, let's look at 6th, the Earth, 4th chapter. Maps. A map is a representation or a drawing of the Earth's surface or a part of it drawn on a flat surface according to a scale. But it is impossible to flatten a round shape completely. So we have seen globe in previous videos. We can't convert that 3D geoid shape into a perfect 2D figure. We find that maps are useful to us for various purposes. One map shows a small area and a few facts. Another map may contain as many facts as a big book. When many maps are put together, we get an atlas. Atlases are of various sizes. Measurements drawn on different scales. Maps provide more information than a globe. They are of different types. Some of them are described below. So map shows some area and also facts about that area, and it may also contain many facts, and when all the maps are binded together, we get an atlas. Atlases are of various sizes, measurements, and it is drawn on different scales. So maps provide more information than a globe. There are different types of maps. Which are those? Physical maps. Maps showing natural features of the earth, such as mountains, plateaus, plains, rivers, oceans, etc. are called physical or relief maps. So mountains, plateaus, plains, rivers, oceans. Political maps. Maps showing cities, towns and villages and different countries and states of the world. So political map shows these things: cities, towns and villages and countries and their names. It is called political maps, right? Thematic maps. Some maps focus on specific information, such as road maps, rainfall maps, maps showing distribution of forest, industries, etc. are known as thematic maps. Suitable titles are given on the basis of information provided in these maps. There are three components of maps. So we saw thematic maps. So based on the themes, the maps are drawn, and roads, rainfall, rainfall distribution and forest distribution, industries distribution are described on it. So there are three components of maps, that is distance, direction and symbol. So three components, we have to remember this. Maps are drawings which reduce the entire world or a part of it to fit on a sheet of paper, or we can say maps are drawn to reduce scales. But this reduction is done very carefully so that the distance between the places is real. So the real world distance is scaled down in certain ratio, and it is drawn on a paper. It can only be possible when a small distance on paper represents a large distance on the ground. Therefore, a scale is chosen for this purpose. Scale is the ratio between the actual distance on the ground and the distance shown on the map. So scale is the ratio between actual distance on the ground and the distance shown on the map. So this has to be remembered. For example, the distance between your school and your home is 10 km. If you show this 10 km distance by 2 cm on a map, it means 1 cm on the map will show 5 km on the ground. So it's obviously based on ratio. So 1 cm is equal to 5 km. The scale is very important on any map. If you know the scale, you will be able to calculate the distance between any two places on a map. When large areas like continents or countries are to be shown on a paper, then we use a small scale. For example, 5 cm on the map shows 500 km of the ground. It is called a small scale map. Right. When a small area like your village or town is to be shown on paper, then we use a large scale, that is 5 cm on the map shows 500 meters only on the ground. It is called a large scale map. So large scale map, small scale map. Hope you remember. So this was the first component. Then let's look at direction. Most maps contain an arrow marked with the letter N at the upper right hand corner. This arrow shows the north direction. It is called the north line. When you know the north, you can find out other directions. For example, east, west and south. There are 4 major directions: north, south, east and west. They are called cardinal points. Other 4 intermediate directions are northeast, southeast, southwest and northwest. So this north, south, east, west, these are cardinal points. This has to be remembered. And there are intermediate directions which are in between north and east, that is northeast, and in between south and east, that is southeast. We can locate any place more accurately with the help of these intermediate directions, right? So you have seen in map that there on top right corner there will be written as north. Symbols. It is the third important component of a map. It is not possible to draw on a map the actual shape and size of different features such as buildings, roads, bridges, trees, railway lines or a well. So they are shown by certain letters, shades, color, pictures and lines. These symbols give a lot of information in a limited space. With the use of these symbols, maps can be drawn easily and are simple to read. Even if you don't know the language of an area and therefore cannot ask someone for directions, you can collect information from maps with the help of these symbols. Maps have a universal language that can be understood by all. There is an international agreement regarding the use of these symbols. These are called conventional symbols. So there is an international agreement regarding the use of symbols to signify that these are some symbol are there which are used only for buildings and only for roads, only for bridges, trees, railway lines as well. So to show the railway lines, parallel lines are used, and again across them there will be small lines which cut across those lines, right? Conventional symbols. Various colors are used for the same purpose. For example, generally blue is used for showing water bodies, brown for mountain, yellow for plateau and green is used for plains, Sundarpur village and its surrounding areas. So this is how it is drawn. So here we can see at top right corner north. So this is the direction, and roads are shown like this, the parallel lines, and if it is a railway line, then there will be lines cut across these parallel lines, right? And if it is a river, then it is shown in a blue color. And masjid, what we call church, temples are shown like this. Sketch. A sketch is a drawing mainly based on memory and spot observation and not to scale. Sometimes a rough drawing is required of an area to tell where a particular place is located with respect to other places. Suppose you want to go to your friend's house but you don't know the way. Your friend may make a rough drawing to show the way to his house. Such a rough drawing is drawn without scale and is called a sketch map. A sketch is something we can say that the rough presentation of a map. A plan is a drawing of a small area on a large scale. A large scale map gives lot of information, but there are certain things which we may sometimes want to know. For example, the length and breadth of a room, which can't be shown in a map. At that time, we can refer drawings drawn to scale called a plan. So the blueprint of a house or a building, which is called as plan. So this is the end of the chapter. Thank you.